Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. Of course, right when I start filming, my dogs are gonna go crazy. It's been a minute. I haven't posted on my channel in about 2 months. I've been super busy with just life. So I have redone my entire room. My dad scraped my ceilings because I had popcorn ceilings. We tore up my carpet. I have hardwood floors now. We painted the whole room, so it took a while. That was another reason why I wasn't filming, because I had been living in the living room. Also, oh my word, almost fell. I was studying for my state board test and I passed it. Thank goodness I passed a couple weeks ago. I only have one more test to take and then I will be a licensed cosmetologist. So that's another reason why I haven't been posting as much. I have been studying really hard for that. But today is Sunday. I just got out of church and I thought I would do a fun little video. Okay, so as you know by the title, I am going to be showing you how to keep your face makeup on all day long, all night long, wherever you're going, you know, party, dinner, on a day like church, school, work, anything. If you want your makeup to stay looking good all day, keep on watching this video. So if you want to learn how to keep your makeup looking flawless all day, where it doesn't rub off, it doesn't come off, it doesn't look splotchy, then keep on watching. Okay. So a very, very important first step is moisturizer. Moisturizer helps with your foundation to look smooth and stick on better and stay on all day. Any moisturizer will work. I use the Equate Beauty for dry skin, even though I don't have dry skin, but it is amazing. This and Pond's moisturizer are my top two favorite. Got them at Walmart, so not a huge thing. So I always moisturize my face before I start on my makeup. And you don't need a lot. A little goes a very long way. So that's pretty much good enough. And you don't want to forget your neck as well. Now that we are moisturized, the next important step is primer. A lot of people don't use primer. I've talked to a bunch of clients who have asked, like, what can I do to help keep my makeup on all day? And I've asked if they use a primer and they say no. This is a very important step to making sure your makeup stays on all day. Just like when you paint a wall, like I painted these walls, you have to prime it first for the paint to look great and smooth and stay on. So same thing with makeup. So really any primer works for me. Not saying any primer will work for you, but just find a primer that you like and stick with it and put it on before your face makeup every time. This is the Milani Prime Correct primer. It helps with redness, which I do have sometimes. My cheeks get really rosy and my nose. So this is a very great one. It evens out that skin tone. And then I also get these little samples in my Ipsy bag. The Too Faced Hangover Primer is a really good one. I really like it. I've gotten like 3 samples in my Ipsy bag, so I haven't ran out yet. Then this Ulta Beauty Poreless Face Primer. I haven't even opened this yet, but this is another one. But the one I have been loving lately and have been using the most is the e.l.f. Putty Poreless Primer. It's really cheap and it works really well. So this is what it looks like. You just dip your finger in like this. And a little goes a long way. And I just put it all over my face. And mainly put primer where you notice your makeup comes off. Most of the time it's right here for me, like in the creases of my nose. So wherever you feel like your makeup comes off the most, be sure you put that primer on there. So now we are all primed and ready for our foundation, but I do also use this Smashbox primer water. So after I moisturize, then I prime, then I use this primer water. And you let that dry down for a minute. Okay, so now we are ready for our foundation. The 2 foundations I have been loving recently are the CoverGirl Clean and Fresh. And of course, this is my all-time favorite, Infallible foundation, 24 Hour Wear by L'Oreal. And I've actually been mixing these two together, so I use my little thing. Be sure you shake your foundation before you use it, always. Alright, so it's like this. And recently I've been using my Kabuki brush and just to dab it all over my face, and then I go back in with my damp beauty blender. Hair up. I mean, I can never have my hair down in my videos when I'm doing makeup. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Kabuki brush just to kind of show you what I've been doing. So I just pat it like this. And I just dab it all over. I don't really try and blend it in with this brush because I'm going to do most of my blending with the Beauty Blender. So now that I've put my foundation on with the Kabuki brush, I'm going to go back in with my damp Beauty Blender and just dab it into my skin. I've noticed a really big difference with putting it on with my Kabuki brush and then going back in with my Beauty Blender instead of just going straight in with my Beauty Blender. It makes it look a lot more smooth and airbrushed, and I love it. I cannot rub my foundation in with a brush though. It will always have to be a Beauty Blender. But applying it with a brush, I can tell a big difference. Okay, so next up is concealer, and lately I've been loving this Maybelline Master Concealer. And apply it. Just like that. And now I'm going to take my Baby Damp Beauty Blender and I'm going to blend out that concealer. Okay, so my concealer is all blended out. Before I bake, I go in with my cream contouring palette and I'm going to go ahead and contour. And it looks super dark and crazy, but you just have to trust the process and blend it out. Thumbnail. Okay, so now that my contour is blended out, ignore my dogs, like always. I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild banana powder. I love this stuff. And I'm going to set my concealer. Setting your concealer is a very important step because if you don't set it, it will definitely crease and obviously rub off. So for the rest of my face, I go in with this CoverGirl loose powder. And this powder gets everywhere. And I just take a big powder brush, dip it in, and I just dab it all over my face. I set that cream contour before I put a powder over it. Okay, so of course my camera dies, always. But okay, so I set the rest of my face with this CoverGirl powder. This is a really important step. You want to set your foundation with powder. Anything liquid that you put on your face, you want to set it with powder, otherwise it'll just smear off throughout the day. So setting your face is very important. Okay, so now that I've set the rest of my face, I set the cream contour with the CoverGirl powder, and then I go back in with powder contour. This is the NYX bronzer, one of my favorites, and I'm just taking this MAC 167 brush. And it looks really harsh right now, but we're going to blend it out. Give us some color. I really want to show y'all my room. I love it. And we're just going to put this contour in the same spots. We're just going to put this bronzer in the same spots as we put the cream contour. So now that we have a little bit of color going on, we're going to keep blending it. And now it's time for blush. I've literally been obsessing over this blush palette. It is e.l.f. Literally was $8. I use this on all of my clients and myself every day. It's amazing. So I use this top one and dip it in with the bottom one, tap it off. We're going to go in with some blush. And we're going to go over, like, not on top of the contour. We're going to go above the contour. Like the apples of your cheeks can go up with it. I do put a little bit on my nose because I just really think that it's cute to have a little bit of a pinkish nose. I love that. This is a trick that I really like to do. You get the powder that you set the rest of your face with and your beauty blender, and you're going to dip it in like this. And you're going to slide it like that to cut that contour. And we're going to let that sit for a little bit. Or at least I do. You don't really have to let it sit long. But I let it sit while I do my highlight. Okay, so first I'm going in with this little Real Techniques brush, and I'm wiping away the bake underneath my eyes. Now I'm going to go in with my highlighter, which is of course, oh, for highlighter I need a new one so bad. I'm going to use that same brush because I can't find my Morphe highlighting brush anywhere. We're just going to highlight. Do my nose, Cupid's bow, and my chin. I love the glowy look, so I tend to put a lot of highlighter on. Alright, so now that I'm done with my highlighter, I wipe the rest of this powder off. And now, last step to have the most perfect base that will last you all night long. Setting spray makes a big difference in my opinion. Or at least I feel like it does. It might not do anything, but I always use setting spray. You shake it really well. This is Make It Last by Milani, and it smells so good. So we're just going to spray. Feels so good. And I just kind of fan it until it dries. Alright y'all, and that is some tips and tricks on how to get a really pretty base that will last you all night or all day, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing. The most important step for me is primer and moisturizing. That's like the main thing. You know, it gives your makeup something to stick to so it'll last all day. And definitely setting your whole face, not just your concealer. You need to put powder all over your whole face. Otherwise, you're going to feel really sticky and it'll just, like literally if you just touch your face without setting it, the foundation will come off on your hands. So in my opinion, those two are the main steps. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful. This video is actually highly requested by a few people for me to do, one of them being my sister. So I thought that I would go ahead and do it, and this is how I do my everyday makeup, everyday face. So yeah, I thought I would share this. I hope this video is very helpful. Please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!